Wanted to bring in several legal analysts to weigh in. Alan Dershowitz is a professor emeritus at Harvard Law School. He's been joining us all morning. Dave Aronberg joins the program, the state attorney for Palm Beach County, Florida. That's where President Trump resides. Gerard Filiti is here with us in studio, senior counsel with the Lawfare Project. Gentlemen, welcome. A very interesting day. Again, we're wanted to tap into all your legal minds. Dave, we haven't heard from you yet, so welcome to National Report. I wanted to get your top line thoughts on this unanimous SCOTUS ruling. Donald Trump will be on the primary ballot in Colorado.
Well, it's good to be with you in the panel, especially my former professor, Alan Dershowitz. I was not surprised by this. I mean, I thought that the Supreme Court would find a way out of this, not dealing with the issue of insurrection. They wanted to avoid that hot potato, even though, by the way, Trump wanted them to declare that he was not an insurrectionist. They refused to go that far, but they did say, as I expected, that Section 5 here of the 14th Amendment punts to Congress, means that Congress must get involved and enact legislation if you want to throw people off the ballot for purposes of Section 3 of the 14th Amendment. States don't have that authority to do it themselves. It's up to Congress. And as Professor Dershowitz, I think, correctly said, Congress is going to sit on its hands. They will do nothing. So this matter is over.
Let's bring in your former professor, Alan Dershowitz, again, responding to what David said there, too. But also Amy Coney Barrett, Supreme Court Justice, put out a statement. But just a quick snippet of it. She writes, the court has settled a politically charged issue in the volatile season of a presidential election. And it goes on. Just how volatile is it, Professor?
Well, first of all, thank you to my former student, my A-plus student, who gave an A-plus answer, as we would expect, and has been an A-plus state attorney in Palm Beach County. So I'm so proud of what you've done for the people of Florida and for the people of the United States. She was right to say that. It's important to emphasize that there has been unanimity of the result. Now, if you read the concurring opinion, you know, it basically says, look, we haven't resolved all of these issues, and we shouldn't resolve all of these issues. The issue before us was a simple one, and we resolved it unanimously. The court need not have gone further and say it's only Congress that can implement Section 3 of the 14th Amendment. Perhaps there are other mechanisms for doing that, by which I suspect they may mean if there was a conviction for insurrection, an actual conviction, maybe that would be enough. But the concurrences just didn't want to go further than had to be done. The three justices said the same thing in the Dobbs case. They thought the Supreme Court had gone too far in overruling Roe versus Wade. So this is judicial restraint versus the argument about judicial overreach. But the key is that last paragraph in Justice Barrett's decision. The American public has to take home from this a unanimous view that they get to decide who the president is. As I like to say, I have the right to vote against Donald Trump for the third time, and no Secretary of State in Colorado should take that away.
Yes, it goes back to the people who play a huge critical role in our elections process. Gerard, in fact, we're hearing from another presidential candidate, this time RFKJ, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. He's weighing in. He said, this is the correct outcome. I want to win a fair election, not one in which my competitors are removed through legal maneuvers. So again, sharing that, believe online. Is that the right approach, Gerard?
Oh, sure it is. I mean, the point of elections is to choose the candidate that you want. And we all recognize that every candidate is imperfect. Historically, they have been imperfect. They've all had issues. But it's not for anyone to force a choice by exercising lawfare, by restricting our First Amendment right to choose who we want to put on a ballot and who to vote for. So that's the biggest issue of all, is we are entitled to an election where we can choose the candidates and then vote for them without the interference of lawyers and courts telling us